Good morning and good afternoon, all depending on where you're joining us from day. I know some of you are on the East Coast, some of you are on the West Coast. We've got a lot of agents here in the Midwest, and of course, down in Florida and Alabama. So, different time zones, a lot of different things going on at different times, which is pretty exciting. It's fun to be on Eastern time and working with someone in California, right? They're a good 4 hours behind us because it's like you're always ahead of everything, right? So that's pretty fun stuff. Happy Friday, everybody. If you know me, you know that this is my favorite day of the week. This is where I've looked back on the week that's just went past, what took place, what needs to be followed up on. I'm always looking forward into next week, the weekend, my family, and my friends, of course, you guys, because business doesn't stop, right? So it's just the fun of juggling it all and keeping it all in place and in order. So happy Friday, everybody. Hope you've had an amazing week so far, and your weekend's going to be even better. Welcome to Creating Opportunities, where we discuss ways to leverage your business by leveraging Rocket Mortgage's loan programs, our technologies, and our ability to close loans in 15 to 20 days versus 20 to 30 days. Yes, that's a fact. We'll get to that here in a little bit too, okay? I'm Bill Haga, Executive Loan Officer with Rocket Mortgage Local. Local means local pricing. So my rate prices are about 1% to 1.25% lower than the call centers. All right, so just pause that and think of that for a minute. 1% to 1.25% less if your clients come with me. If they work with the call center, it's going to be more costly for them. It doesn't make any sense. I'm your local representative, and that's why I've got local pricing, right? So on a $500,000 purchase, that's them saving over $5,000. That's huge. Okay. I'm also licensed in 11 states. You'll see that on the screen as well. I do bring a good 20 plus. After 20, I don't think you really need to add them. It's 20 years of survivorship, right? The economy's been up and down over these past 20 plus years. From the housing market crash to the refinance boom to the new construction boom, building houses. It's been exciting. COVID, all kinds of interesting things. Rates down to, I think the lowest one that I signed and locked was at 2.25. Amazing. Yes. So, in those 20 plus years of experience, I do bring a lot of education with me. I'm an educator as well, right? That's what we do. So I'm constantly explaining on multiple levels, right? Because we work with first-time home buyers, we work with experienced investors. So those conversations are obviously a little different in tone and depth, right? So that's the fun part of it. That's the part that I love about the job is, figuring out the puzzle. So during that 20 plus years, right, my main job is to really protect your commissions, right? You trusted me to send me your business, your clients, then I take that responsibility to heart. Okay. I know that it's me and my team that have got to make it happen at the end of the day, right? You've done what you needed to do. You got the client, you got them a house, you got them locked in on a contract, you did all the negotiations. Now it's time for us to shine. Okay. So the joys. And that's, like I said, that's the exciting part of it. That's what we thrive off of. Most people are like, you're crazy. Why would you want that much stress in your life? But at the end of the day, it's also like Christmas, right? Every closing is like a Christmas to me, and so full of joy. So If anyone is interested in closing your loans sooner, anyone's interested in, amazing communication, I don't think that in the past couple years, since I moved over to Rocket, a lot of things have, changed here system wise, new programs coming. I mean, 2025 and 2026, there's not even much of a resemblance that we still have from 2025 as a company. I mean, we've just grown and developed that much more within ourselves. So that's pretty awesome too. So if anyone likes to close loans sooner, that's me. I don't like anything hanging in the pipe as long as it needs to be hanging in there. Too many things can happen. Loss of a job, I mean, that's happened. I literally had a refinance that we were going in to the last. I mean, we're getting it clear to close. All we needed to do was verify his employment. Come to find out, he had lost his job. He didn't even know about it. They didn't call him directly. He took some time off, was unpaid, and everyone's got a story. But at the end of the day, we couldn't verify employment and wasn't able to close that loan. So if we would have closed that loan a week sooner, it would have closed. So that is a great, great milestone to get over. Close your loan sooner than later. All right, today's agenda. The week of interest rates. A lot of things took place this week. We'll dive into those. Taco Tuesday. Thanks to Corey Sheena, every Tuesday, Corey sends out his Taco Tuesday wrap up. Super informal. So we're going to go through a couple of those. Faster closing times, like I mentioned earlier. I also have a call to action for you. And then we'll discuss a little bit about what we're going to talk about next week. Okay. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this. Okay. So, wow. So last Friday, we saw huge drop in conventional rates, right? President Trump reached out to Fannie and Freddie and pretty much said, hey, we need you to buy $200 billion in mortgage-backed securities. So I'm sure that conversation went over well. We got the drop in interest rates on the conventional side. I mean, we had rates at programs, right? Every program's got a different rate. So most of our programs went down in rate by 0.625%. That's a huge drop, right? More than 0.5%. So we saw some huge things Friday, which just generated a ton of business for us over the weekend and this week. So we're out there contacting all of our clients, letting them know about what's taking place, right? You got to get all that communication out there. And it really paid off for us. So just to give you a little idea, our December was the best month in 2025. That's the momentum that us as Rocket as a company have moving into 2026. And we have more programs to offer, which is just amazing, right? I come from a broker background, where I had every program always at my fingertips. When I came here 2.5 years ago, I didn't necessarily have all those programs, and I missed out on a lot of business, right? Because I'd already had that business built up. So now I'm trying to get that business back. All right. So we're going to talk about some of that. And then next week, I'm going to actually be traveling. So we're going to be discussing that a little bit too. All right. So when the interest rates dropped, it generated a ton of business for us. And things are looking pretty good right now. So Taco Tuesday. Let's talk about Taco Tuesdays right quick. Thank you, Corey. We appreciate you for sending these out. So Corey sent this one out, and this one's regarding luxury and jumbo. Okay. Who's the luxury and jumbo rock stars out there? Got anybody out there that really focuses on this business day in and day out? If you're working with high-end buyers or seller, then this one's for you. Okay, because we just had 6 major upgrades that just dropped already on our strong jumbo program, and they open the door way more creativity in the luxury market. Okay, so this is all high-end luxury jumbo stuff here that we're going to go over. All right, I call it whale fishing. Right, we want to go after the big loan amounts. We want to go after the big listings. The super nice houses. All right, so who does this apply to? All jumbo loans that we have. That's purchases and refinances. Okay, that's huge. Most of the time, they're only opening things up for purchases. All right, we also include refinances in just about everything that we do. All right, what do you need to know? Well, this is what matters to you. All right, first thing, debt to income ratio increased from 45% to 50%. Okay, that 5% is a huge turnaround. What does that mean? Your buyers can now have up to $150,000 more dollars in buying power. That's what that 5% gives them. $150,000 more. All right, that's huge, right? The second thing that took place, loan amounts increased to 3.5 million. Before they were capped at 2.5. Now you still need 20% down, right? So what does this mean? So higher price points with less cash needed up front. Because we can go up to 3.5 million now with these. Okay. Number 3, we also have expanded loan to value and credit options now. This is my favorite. So we're adding little things to, once again, try to have more approved clients, right? So this is the expanded piece. 10% down, 680 credit score, no mortgage insurance. What does this mean? More flexibility, more approvals, more deals closing, right? When the criteria drops, it opens up another layer of buyers. Okay, now we can go down to 680 credit score with just 10% down. Okay, number 4, jumbo now allows temporary buy downs. This is huge. We're offering a free temporary buy down right now on our conventional programs and our FHA program. And that's huge. Like I just signed I think it was a 5.625. So for the first year, they're going to get a 4.625 rate. After that first 12 months, then they're just going to roll back to the same rate. It's not like the rate really changes. It's really just a payment. But then their payment reflects a 5.625 year 2. Now, mind you, interest rates are supposed to be dropping, right, in 2026. So that should set them up perfectly for a nice refinance after that 6-12 months, depending on what it is. Okay, so that's huge. All right, now you can offer your jumbo client that. Everyone wants a discounted rate for the first year. Are you kidding me? Especially those who are, moving up. Someone who just went from a $500,000 house to $1 million house, there's a little bit of an adjustment there, right? That payment adjustment, payment shock is what they call that. Well, an awesome way of eliminating that is to do a 1.0 buy down. Okay, a 1.0 is just for the first year, 1% down. The 2.1 is, once again, it's a 2% down, and then it goes up 1 each year. Same way with the 3.2.1. So they get, 3%, 2%, 1%, and then it adjusts back up to the rate. So that's huge, right? Seller can market lower initial payments, right? So when you're listing this and you're marketing this house, you can now promote that there's a lower initial payment. Buyers can negotiate huge monthly savings during the first few years. And this is a perfect strategy for homes that have been sitting longer than expected on the market. So if you're one of these luxury home jumbo boss ladies, then reach out to me and let's figure out a strategy for these homes that have been sitting for a while. Okay. Because once again, every little thing that I'm talking about is opening the door for somebody. All right. Number 5, commercial and mixed use zoning now available. Okay. What does this mean? If a property has some commercial or mixed use space, right? Let's say that you've got a property that's got a storefront in the bottom, and then up above it, you have apartments, right? Or your primary house. I've seen that too. It's no longer an automatic deal breaker as long as it's residential in nature. Okay. So it can be zoned, once again, commercial or mixed use. However, as long as it has residential in nature, then there's a chance that we can still use that. Okay. Some things to be cautious of. All right. So these are kind of the key guardrails. Always have DTI properly calculated before committing to a price point. Okay. That's where I come in at. So if you're getting ready to list one of these homes, I'd be happy to go through this with you. All right. It takes a few minutes. However, it is now you're putting your listing with programs. Okay. So if you're able to do this as a listing agent, because you're marketing this thing, right? So if you can truly market, hey, you can use this program, you can use this program, or you can use this program. Oh, and guess what? You even have a buy down option. And then explain what the buy down option is and show some numbers so they can see the monthly savings. That will help them with that payment shock. Commercial mixed use properties will still be primary residence, right? So once again, this is still Fannie, Freddie stuff. We're putting some spins on things. However, still needs to be primary residence, okay, for these. Partner with purpose. If you have a luxury listing that's sitting, or a jumbo buyer that's stuck on a price point or their down payment, once again, let's get together, let's build a strategy, and let's get this across the finish line for you, right? You got a seller out there that needs to get off to sell that house and move to their next house, right? We want to help them do that as quickly as possible, right? We've got a buyer that's obviously interested at that time. We need to get their keys in their hands as quickly as we possibly can. Okay. And then if you're receiving the Taco Tuesdays, enjoy the taco recipes. I know that my wife and I have tried a few of them. I love fish tacos, so just about any fish taco is perfect for me. So you want to make sure you get you some recipes, okay? But at the end of the day, these luxury homes that are sitting, that's an issue. Okay. Let's see if we can't solve that issue. I'm here to help you. All right. So that was Taco Tuesday from January 6th. Here's one from this week. All right. So this is where Corey's kind of going into what's taking place. So the first 2 weeks of the year have been overwhelming in the best way. We've spoken with so many buyers that are determined to make 2026 their year to buy their first home, right? We had a ton of people in 2025 that started the process. They got pre-approved, right? They said they had some time invested. They dug up their documents. They had their credit pulled. I mean, they did everything up front that they needed to buy a home, but they never got their keys. All right. So these are always the first people that I focus on moving into the next year. All right. So What happens to these people is they get all excited, their emotions start turning, and then for whatever reason that falls off, they're not excited any longer, may even put it on the back burner, right? Well, that's where we come in, right? That's our job. We're supposed to get them excited. We're supposed to let them know about new programs. We're supposed to let them know, hey, we can get it done this year. So that's what we're going to do. All right. We need to get this momentum picked up on these first time home buyers who didn't buy last year. All right. One of the ways that we're going to do this, and I just did this with Nikki. So local down payment assistance, Nikki in Birmingham. So this is for all of you boss ladies who have city, state programs, right? Down payment assistance programs, right? Who does this apply to? Future home buyers, all those 2025 first time home buyers that didn't purchase, right? This is made for really first time home buyers. All right. What do you need to know and what matters? Why does this matter to you? Okay. Rocket has been in business for 40 plus years. And for the first time in our history, we went all in on local first time homebuyer grants, right? I represent the local team, local being, hey, we're in our neck of the woods, we're in the streets, we're out there shaking hands, we're meeting you face to face. If you're out of state and we built those relationships, it's based off of the service that we provided, right? I realize I can't be there all times, even though I do travel and attend things. I can't be there all the time, right? And I don't know about all the local programs. So that's about all to change. All right. So over the past 2 years, our team has compiled massive grant lists. We've contacted local agencies. We've completed applications. We paid sponsor fees. Right. So we've earned placement on a preferred lender list. First time ever. All right. That's awesome. In our 40 years, we're now promoting these local programs. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but the results are going to be huge. As we enter 2026, we now have hundreds of vetted local first time homebuyer grants. All right. So this is happening right now. I have one in Birmingham, Alabama. They offer $10,000 grant. And Cornell, our first time home buyer, is stoked. He's been texting me about 20 times a day already. He just can't believe it. Okay. So once again, it's like Christmas, right? This is why I love my job. Right? I love helping people, and no better way to help people and, give them shelter, give them an opportunity to build wealth and grow their family. So huge. All right. So what does this mean? No more guessing if the lender is compatible, wondering if the grant will fall apart during, mid-transaction, losing deals over down payment confusion, right? Down payment is the hardest thing for us Americans to come up with. We're just apparently not good savers these days, right? I remember my grandparents, they saved everything. My parents probably did half and half. We're probably, on the wrong side of the fence now. I'm a big saver, but in general, it's tough, right? You constantly have things coming at us. We're being taxed on everything that we buy. Our income's being taxed. It's tough, right? So what we're doing is we're taking all the guesswork out of it for you. All right. Let us do the work. Okay. If you have a down payment program that you use consistently, please reach out to me. Send me an email with the information and a link so I can go check it out. If it's something that we don't already have signed up and have approved, then I'll send it to our down payment assistance team and they'll jump all over it. Okay. So they're going to be, so internally, this is kind of what we're doing, right? So we're filtering grants by state. We're checking specific programs. We're identifying first-time home buyer programs, right? We're matching those buyers up with the best possible grant and situation for them. right? Based off of their goals, based off of what they need specifically. And this is just simple, strategic, and powerful. Okay. For us, I mean, 2026 is going to be out of control, right? We now have all these programs. We now have these state programs. Um, these are huge down payment programs. I know in some states they offer $25,000. Um, please, if you've got one of these and you use them, please bring it to my attention so I can have some knowledge on these. One of the things that I love to do is learn, right? You can't be an educator if you're not constantly learning yourself. So that's one of the things that I love to do. So if you've got these programs, please, please, please send me an email with that information attached. Okay. Um, we will help them every step of the way to ensure all requirements are met. There's some legwork normally with these programs, and these programs normally put, our clients in a box. But as long as they fit in that box and that box, everything within it fits their goals, they're going to be just fine, right? Let's worry about getting them keys. Let's get them shelter, and let's get them, financially set moving forward. Okay. Because once we teach how equity works, how that's an asset, it isn't like their car and depreciating in value. That thing's going up in value as you're paying down your loan. So there's going to be one day in the near future that you're going to be able to pull that cash out, pay off all your debt. Man, I remember that day still. What an amazing day that was. I had enough equity to pay off everything that I owned. One day, you'll see it. Okay, so once again, if you know of any grants that we don't have or we don't know yet, please send that over to us, okay? Once again, we want to partner with purpose. So curious what grants are already available in your state? Message me. Once again, we pull them up. We'll take a look at them, and I can tell you what we can do and what we can't do. If there's anything that makes us like sign up, provide financials, we're just not going to do that, right? That's going to be for your little local mortgage company or bank who just, deals directly somewhat with these programs. Other than that, we are ready to sign up. All right. So let's help more buyers cross the finish line in 2026. How's that sound? That is great news to my ears. All right. Let's see where we're at. So let's hop into faster closing times. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Before I came to Rocket, someone said that you can close a loan in 6 to 10 days. I would have laughed at you. But I've seen it. I've done it. I close an FHA from start to finish, from the day that I got the contract until the day that we signed, 8 days, right? And then I mentioned that someone at Rocket closed a conventional loan in 6 days. So if you ever have a scenario or situation where, hey, everything's falling apart, I need to close at this date, I want you to pick up the phone and call me. I want my name to pop into your head, right? Just like Matt did with my high profile football player. He said the same thing. I need this thing closed, Bill. Can you close it? I said, I'll close this thing way before that contract date. You can count on that. And we did. We closed it like, I don't know, 3 weeks sooner. So that was huge, especially for our client, right? He's got a million things that he's working and dealing with. The last thing he needs to be confined to and be strapped to a emotional roller coaster as they're buying a house, right? So you don't want those things, right? Those are the things that I can help you with. But it's true, 15, 20 days. Wow. And how is that even possible? Well, let me explain it. We changed our process, right? Before, it was less like everybody else. I would gather documents, I'd pull credit, right? Verify credit, income, and assets. I got bank statements, but that bank statement I'm looking at, that's December bank statement. I don't know what's going on in January. I have no idea how much money they got in their account at this moment, right? So we kind of flipped everything on its head. So we moved underwriting to the front of the process. There's so many guidelines out there and they change constantly. This is like the best thing, better than sliced bread for us loan officers working here, because everybody wants to submit a file into underwriting before you get a contract. Everybody does, right? Everyone wants to know that the underwriter said, yes, this buyer, this client is approved. So once you have your buyer approved, the only thing that's left is title and appraisal. And those all come in the first couple weeks. So if you can put a rush on something, you can see how quickly you can really close a loan versus what, some of the others are out there doing. So if it's less than 15 days, it's a rush for us. If it's over 15 days, it isn't a rush. Okay. Every place that I worked for, anything, 20 days and less was a rush. Right? So once again, the longer your file's in processing, the more time it has to get shot by something, right? Like I just mentioned, I had a client that lost his job and he wasn't even aware of it. He didn't even receive the phone call. They had called, but he didn't take the call because he was at a store. He was shopping, and they didn't leave a message. He didn't call back. He figured if it was important, they'd call him back. He's still on his leave. He's really working for another company during the day. He's going to, switch full-time to part-time. But at the end of the day, he lost his job. We couldn't close, right? But more excitingly, you get your customer off this emotional roller coaster quicker as well, right? The process is brutal. They say it's the third most stressful thing that we will do in life, buy a house. It shouldn't be like that. It should be nice and smooth, should be quick, shouldn't be full of, potholes, shouldn't be any of that, right? If we do our due diligence up front, and that's really what we're doing. So you, boss ladies, have the confidence when you're making your offer that, hey, this offer is a solid offer. My buyer has already been approved by underwriting. No, they didn't have a contract that fell out. No, that's just what Rocket does. Because once again, we want clean stuff, right? We don't want to waste time. We don't want to have a buyer who goes all the way through until the very end and then finds out that, oh, there's something on their bank statement that they can't close now or something, right? No one wants any of that. So we prevent that by doing our underwriting up front. I can't speak about that enough. I mean, it's huge. It's truly has changed the way that we do business. Just think of it. If you're dealing with a closing and it takes 30 days, how many things can pile on your task in those 30 days? Not just by that client, but you got other clients you're working with, right? I mean, for me, I'm like 50, 60 people I'm working with over here as I'm moving them from, the process through, but that's what I'm juggling. So if I can cut down the time it takes to close somebody, that allows me more time to focus on new business, right? I can do more pre-approvals. I can talk to more of your clients. I can get more of your clients off the fence. I'm able to do more things because these are closing faster. And you're going to see that too. If you got to, stay out there and still touch this thing for 30 days versus 15 days, you're going to see that you're going to have a lot more time on your hands as well. Okay. And that's what it is. It's time management. It's great time management. Gives you the confidence, right? I'm going to add some value. So once they're underwritten, right, we're going to give them a verified approval letter or an upgraded approval letter. All right. So once again, it's underwritten. It's not a pre-approval that a loan officer from anywhere did. No, it's from an underwriter. Big difference, right? Big difference. 15 to 20 days, 20 to 30 days. That's a big difference, right? So that's how teamwork all comes into fruition here. There's a lot going on within those 15 days, but the communication never skips a beat, right? Because it's the same process over and over again. It's just different faces, right? Different clients, but the process doesn't change, right? Someone may have an interesting scenario, but everybody's got a scenario. It's no big deal there. All right, call to action. All right, boss ladies, please do this for me. All right, we've got a lot of clients still from 2025 that did not close. Okay, I want you to focus on these clients. I want to get these clients re-engaged, right? We got to build some excitement within them, and we need to get them back up and running. So we got to update documents, right? Those who didn't complete everything, it's time to complete everything, right? 2026 is a total new year and time to kick it off. All right. So that's my call to action. If you've got someone who is on the fence, you can't get to them, let's talk to them together. Hey, such and such client, I've got Bill from Rocket Mortgage that I do business with. The guy's got 20 plus years experience. Rocket's a totally different company than what they were, 2.5, 3 years ago. That's when they hired all of us local loan officers. All right. So the local people that they hired, the past 3-4 years ago, about 3, and I guess it's been about 4 years. So they've been working on this for 4 years, and we are the dominant team within Rocket. So we do more business, we close more business than any other piece within us. All right, that's huge, which has given us a local stamp, right? I mean, you see it, we're growing. While others are shrinking, we're looking for other ways to, put our footprint out there. So if you've got someone who's on the fence, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Let's get involved and let's get them up and running. Okay. All right. So next week, I'm traveling to Detroit. We're having an all company meeting. I'm flying out Wednesday morning, and I won't be flying back until later on Friday evening, probably. Right now, my flight's scheduled for like 6. I've thought about moving that up, but we'll see what happens. So next week in these meetings, we're going to be talking about 2026, right? You're focusing on nothing but 2026. We've got new programs that are coming out. We'll always have a bells and whistles, right? Our little contests that we run. The pricing, the sales, the promos, all the things that are going to be coming up here real soon. All right. So let's collaborate and make 2026 our best year in real estate industry yet. My contact's on the screen. If you have any clients that are, once again, on the fence, contact me. Let's get them approved. All right. Let's get them underwriting. Let's get them underwritten, approved. All right. All right. This weekend is going to be a big weekend. I'm going to have my laptop on. My phone's going to be on. Why is it going to be a big weekend? Because Monday's a holiday. So anyone who works different businesses are going to be closed. Banks are going to be closed. And I know that is time to look for homes. right? If they're in the market, that's a day that they're going to be out looking. All right. My laptop and phone are going to be on all weekend. So if you need anyone pre-approved, please send that information to me. You can text me their number. You can text me. I'll text you a link to my loan app that you can share it with them. You can call me on a 3-way call. I don't care how the communication comes in, but let's make it happen this weekend. All right. Let's get these people from 2025 excited. That's who I'd be calling all day. All day. Hey, this is what's going on. Interest rates are dropping. It's time to get out there. House prices are still going up. Man, they're still going up. So there's no waiting. Waiting for what? Okay, we've got to take that thought process and throw it out. That's like procrastinating. Stop that. You're costing yourself money. All right. The sooner you get in this house, the sooner you start building equity, the sooner you start paying your loan down. That's what we need to be teaching them. All right. Love you all. Thank you for your time. Let's get them underwriting approved and under contract. And let's make it happen. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you. Take care.